boys in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers! Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers! Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hello, all you people, and welcome to the RebelTaxi Pizza Party podcast with your new host, Nick Nocturne. After we killed off the prior host, Pan Pizza, who was unfit to rule, as judged by all of you and the group here. Who are you people, all you wonderful betrayers and backstabbers?
I didn't actually. I mean, the producer was the one who did it, so like we just had to do what.
Right.
We had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, great.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Do you remember? Do you remember that episode of iCarly where they tried to like get the show back after they sold it to a TV network? Like that's what happened. So
That's like my favorite episode of iCarly. It's literally the one that I go to whenever I want to watch iCarly.
I only remember one part where it's like, we're gonna go back and make iCarly the way we like it, and then the audience applauded, and I was like, yeah, get him, Carly, get him.
Except that can't happen here because Pan's body will never be discovered. We made sure of that.
Wait, what's that coming out of the room over there?
You know, he was made of pizza after all. Mystery solved. But who are you, wonderful people?
I'm here. Go away. No, I'm the host.
Oh
Look,
my God, it's him.
I have a mic that isn't like recorded off a potato. It's me.
Wow. Well, you know what? Management spent so much money on making sure you would disappear that they didn't have enough equipment for this.
I'm here.
We're losing the radio signal. Nick is disappearing. Oh no.
Shoo.
Right back into the dimension I came from. Fuck.
Shoo.
Bye.
Did you just shoot him?
Yes, he's a cat.
Yeah. like the guy came in, took over your podcast, and your like big retaliation is just shoo. I just imagine Nick like running out like feral, like on 4 feet, like Pearl in that one episode.
Well, he was at a furry convention recently, so it's not that surprising.
Oh boy.
Nay-nayed on him. Oh, fuck.
Yes, but it's here. It's me. That's the Pizza Party podcast. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people that didn't replace me?
I'm Nolan. I'm not the producer.
Damn straight,
I
bitch.
just want to clarify that.
I'm Izzy. I apparently cut off Nolan again.
No, you didn't. It's fine. And we have our guest
Who's
today.
this guy? Who's this other guy here?
Who's me? It's me.
Yeah.
It's me, Andre Lemilza. My opinions are my own and do not reflect my employer, Cartoon Network. I'm a storyboardist there.
You work for Cartoon Network? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who'd you think you worked for? What the hell?
I don't know this guy.
And I'll just do a little depraved thing, which I am a co-host on my own podcast called The Less You Know. It is a comedy news podcast, so don't worry, I'm not infringing on your territory.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't talk about like all the modern news. It's just weird, just strange news or just articles online. So it's not, if you don't want to deal with Trump or politics or any of that stuff, just come over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll learn nothing.
What do you work on exactly in terms of cartoons?
Well, you guys had a fellow coworker on before, Katrin. I work on the new Ben 10 reboot that everybody hates.
Oh.
Rest in fucking pieces.
Yeah, I've gotten death threats from fans.
Yep,
Oh, really?
that's the internet.
You could literally just go and be like, man, I like Oreos a lot, even better than Nutter Butters. And somebody's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to come for you. I'm going to find you and your family. You're all going to fucking die. Swear to God. Swear to fucking God.
I mean, like, if you get a death threat, just challenge them. Like, say, yeah, come get me. Come after me.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. That's what I would do. I'd be like, you think you're hot shit, huh? Fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the death threats are probably like pretty serious, but do they ever like get really cringy? Like, I'm gonna make you deader than Ghost Freak.
No, but I wish. I can't tell you how much I've talked about wanting Ghost Freak in the new series because I really enjoyed him. I've only seen like the very early Ben 10 when it started when I was younger, but I loved Ghost Freak because he was creepy as hell. But they were just like, nah, sorry, we got other aliens on the list, and I'm like, man.
Oh.
That and Wild Mutt. I really dug Wild Mutt.
Did you even
is
like
Walmart not in the new series?
Nah. It's like currently all the aliens right now are resembling more humanoid figures.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. It felt like it was like a callback to the fact that Ben 10 at one point was going to be basically Dial H for Hero.
You mean the one where it was like all humans?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a different dude. Like, I'm an old granny who can't cross the street. Now I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Or Goro from like Mortal Kombat and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they just went with like this is just my thoughts on it, and I have no like hard confirmation on it. But I think they just wanted to go with what aliens, looked the coolest. But I did try and fit Wild Mutt back into it in the very first season. I boarded an episode. I think it's the swap meet one. I can't, but I put in. They're looking through trinkets and stuff, and I was able to put in a Wild Mutt mask that Ben wears.
Okay.
When I boarded that, though, I'm like, oh man, those hardcore fans are gonna hate me so much.
Oh. Well, they go into rotations with his heroes, so I'm sure Wild Mutt will show up eventually, possibly.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I got no insight on future aliens, so
Because they actually started adding new aliens because they had Vilgax and another 11th
in this current series
in the reboot. I think I don't know if it aired here or not.
with Shockrock, that new alien they have, or
I don't know. I don't follow it super hardcore. I just know that they've done because like they had Gax, which was Vilgax.
Yes.
And then they were like, then they decided that the next alien was technically the 11th alien instead of Gax. Even though
I can't 100% remember it correctly, but I think I helped name him Gax. But I also designed Gax and boarded his transformation into Vilgax.
nice.
Yeah, I was very proud of that. It's one of the things I did where the hardcore fans were like, "This is so cool. This is what we wanted," and I'm like, "Cool."
One thing I have to ask though, because it's one of my favorite terrible bad movies, but since you're a big Wild Mutt fan, what did you think of him in Race Against Time? It was the first live action Ben 10, and Wild Mutt was in it, and they gave him like a gross fur texture.
Okay, I watched that when it came out a long time ago, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, me too.
Although I do have a poster of it in my office because they gave us one for some reason. I think they were just trying to Cartoon Network was just trying to get rid of excess old stuff.
Is it the one where the kid actor is like just trying to look really badass at the camera, but he's like a 10-year-old, so he just looks like
he's got like a heat blast arm, like
yeah, that one. I love that one. He looks
Oh, this
so
reminds me,
unintimidating.
like, recently I went to some store in my downtown area, and it was just full of bootlegs, and I found, like, a sticker book of Ben 10, and there was that infamous image of, like, of all these...
It's the bootleg one, right?
Yes, and then there's that one where it was, like, Gwen pregnant, and it's implied that it was Ben's...
I'll tell you something funny. When I had to first work on the show, I only like really watched the first one and maybe some stuff I saw over the years here and there. And when I had to Google, like, okay, I was like, I'll look up. They said like, oh, just research some other Ben 10 stuff, and I was like, okay. So I like went into Google, typed in just Ben 10, basic Ben 10, and I didn't scroll down more than one line of like photos before I just saw like photoshopped heads of Ben on giant muscular roided out bodies. If you Google it, you will see them if you have your safe search off, and I just don't understand that mix of things. Because like I get like if porn ends up getting mixed, like Rule 34 stuff, but I just do not get the fascination with making Ben roided out, but with Kid Ben head body.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
But first, this video is sponsored by Alex, who donated $100 to the Patreon. He wants to promote his webcomic called Comic Me. It's about a cartoonist living in New York. These are random strips about what artists go through, but usually my favorite strips are the flashbacks of him growing up in school without understanding much English and putting up with other students. Links below to Comic Me.
We now return to the Transformers.
Yeah, don't go to a bootleg store. You can just feel the lead paint everywhere, like my sinuses were acting up.
Full of lead paint.
I'm assuming. I don't want to like touch that stuff. Well, I did touch all that stuff, but I washed my hands after, so it's fine.
My first apartment had lead paint walls still.
What the hell?
Yeah, when I came out here, I lived in a really crappy apartment with like 4 people paying like $350 a month, and they were like, yeah, the walls still have lead paint. It's not built for earthquake-proof safety yet, and there's no AC in it, so you're all gonna bake and die.
What the
Fun.
So I was like, cool. I guess that's what I have to. I guess that's what I got. Coming from Michigan with only like $1,700 in my bank account and trying to make it in LA.
Do they still make lead paint?
No, it's illegal.
Okay, but somehow, okay, I don't know why the walls are like that.
I don't think anyone inspected this place is probably what happened.
Yeah.
That or they didn't want to pay to get it fixed, and they were just like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I remember an episode of the Osmosis Jones cartoon, Ozzy and Drix. It was an episode where like the human boy was painting a shed or something, and some paint, I think some lead paint particles went into his nose, and it was almost gonna kill him. But they got him to eat cereal, and apparently, I guess the calcium in cereal prevented him from getting lead paint poisoning.
Sometimes I wish cartoons worked like that in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, oh no, I got lead paint. Hold on, let me get a bowl of Captain Crunch, and I'm just gonna down this, and I'm all good to go.
On the subject of Ozzy and Drix, the show, the framing device, that being Hector, is really kind of unfortunate because if you like marathoned it, it's just this child getting into the worst possible scenarios, like nearly freezing to death on a mountain, getting sick, getting poisoned by lead. The suffering of Hector.
Yeah.
Did they ever explain how Ozzy and Drix went from Bill Murray to the kid?
Oh yeah. In the first episode of the series, Bill Murray was still a fat fucking slob, and he was just gorging on like wings. And Ozzy and Drix got sucked up by a mosquito, and that mosquito sucked up someone else's blood, and that's how they ended up in their body.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's better than what I thought which was that he spit in the kid's mouth.
No.
Bill Murray.
No.
Bill Murray, you can't do that.
It's one of those
Well, if he was a jerk.
Bill Murray things
had to
where like
explain him.
there's always these rumors that like Bill Murray walked over and like took a French fry and be like, "Go ahead, tell people. No one's ever gonna believe you." He just walks up to a kid, spits in his mouth. Go ahead, tell people. No one will believe you.
I felt that show worked well as an expansion of the movie, since there was so much potential they could do. I don't know if you ever fought cancer. They did fight nicotine, so
Yeah, I saw that.
that was something.
Remember that episode? It'd be great if one episode, just out of nowhere, Miss Frizzle and the school bus just shows up.
Oh shit, that's the perfect
I
crossover.
guess Miss Frizzle will have to recontemplate how atoms work and germs, and that they can be sentient and talk.
Miss Frizzle was a hack.
What if the people in Osmosis Jones could reprogram their like host body or brain and like write them like a mecha, the best mecha show?
There was like an episode in the show where like Hector, I don't know, like Ozzy got in control of Hector and did some karate moves or something just to
Oh, I remember that. I think it's in the intro.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my next question. Why the fuck do you know so much about Ozzy and Drix?
Why don't you know more?
You know, that was part of the lineup, you know? Like, Static Shock and Mucha Lucha and Jackie Chan Adventures and Pokemon.
Jackie Chan Adventures is easily the best show on that lineup,
Yeah.
though.
Jackie Chan Adventures was fucking lit.
I love Jackie Chan Adventures. Also, one of the employees on my show worked on it, and then I sang him the theme song.
Oh my god.
Was this your courtship dance?
Yes, I was like, please show me your work. Please
Yeah.
take me into the talisman. And then I awkwardly walked away.
Oh.
Wait, was there even lyrics? Or wait, you're talking about the outro, right?
Yeah, I guess the outro. Yeah, the beginning was like.
That, you know, like
lyrics for that.
occasional sound effects.
How about Challenge Showdown? That also was on Kids WB.
Challenge Showdown was fucking cool.
Showdown was really my shit. That was my shit.
Didn't deserve
Its
it.
spinoff was
didn't
awful.
deserve that. Didn't deserve that spinoff. Nope.
It had a spinoff?
Oh, sequel series, spiritual sequel,
It was
reboot.
Shaolin Chronicles.
What was
It aired on Disney XD.
It was a Canadian produced show. Well, I think they both were, but they like brought it back 10 years later, but they couldn't use half the voice actors because Canada has these weird laws about how the actor has to be Canadian unless you can prove that the original actor is like the only one that can portray the character.
Yeah.
Huh.
They also recolored the dragon from green to yellow, and it looked awful.
It was so many strange changes.
How would you quantify or judge that? Oh, unless they can truly perform that. What does that mean?
It probably means like if there's a giant legacy, like I can't think of, I don't know like voice actors' nationalities, but say like there's Canadian production of Donald Duck. Whoever's currently the voice of Donald Duck is the voice of Donald Duck will probably be okay for them to use.
Well, not Tom Kenny, assholes, bitches. Fuck you.
Is Tom Kenny not a Canadian? I just assume all voice actors are Canadian.
He should be Raimundo because the guy they got sucked.
Why is Tom Kenny always the one playing the Mexican characters? When are we gonna get the problem with every Tom Kenny character ever made?
Remember when Tom Kenny voiced that in the Transformers series? That was basically a black stereotype. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, and like the second Michael Bay Transformers movie, the racist stereotype bots, Skids and Mudflap,
The cringy like hip hop robot.
the ones everyone just like wants to forget.
Why is everybody going after Hank Azaria? We got to go after Tom Kenny. Come on.
Yeah, let's get Tom Kenny now. He's next.
Let's get that pasty white motherfucker.
Should blame more of the casting call director who probably told him to do that.
Shit, you're right. We're going after the wrong people. We should go after the casting directors.
Somebody was like, so this robot's got to be a cool gangster robot and has to say a lot of slang because that goes well with marketing, right, guys?
It worked with the Ninja Turtles.
I have to say, Bebop and Rocksteady were pretty dope in that second one.
Agreed.
Like, if they just solidified them as their own thing, I would have been like, this
They're
is pretty good.
monsters.
Like, I feel like they were portrayed really solid. They were portrayed really solid.
We're not monsters.
Oh, that scene, that fucking scene where it's like the cops had a gun pointed at the turtles and the cops are like, what are they? They're monsters. They're monsters. And Mikey's just like, we're not monsters. We're not monsters.
I legitimately miss when the turtles had beaks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like them having bigger noses, and like between 2012, this 3D remake one, they got no noses, and then in the Michael Bay, well, I guess he's not really the director, but we could call him Michael Bay Turtles. He like gave them like realistic mouths, and they just have lips, and I'm like, I just want big nose beaked turtles.
They did not give it to you because they are cowards.
Yeah, cowards, all of you.
In retrospect, I kind of feel like I'm kind of okay with those Michael Bay designed turtles, I mean, it's like, what did we expect? They're fucking turtles. Mutated turtles in a realistic setting. Like, what do you expect them to look,
They should look gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're mutants. They're supposed to be disgusting.
They grew on me over time, to
I mean,
be honest.
because the turtles have always had redesigns, so it's just like, well, it's another redesign. They're mutant turtles. I mean, I guess they'll look disgusting. That makes sense.
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want from us?
I mean, the early ones in like the 90s, like the TV or like the movies they made with like those rubber suits, those looked utterly terrifying and gross.
I love them.
Yeah, they look like the cartoon versions.
But they also look gross.
Yeah, but they look like turtles though. They didn't like, they looked like what everyone was already like. It was basically just the 2D drawings, but in real life, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you did that with the 3D turtles, it would just end up taking the 3D turtles from Nickelodeon and putting them in the Michael Bay movie.
Oh God, no! They look like they would look like Nerf footballs.
That is a pretty good description. They do look like a Nerf toy personified.
Yeah, but I love the new rise of the TMNT designs.
Raphael is hot as fuck.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the giant Raphael. I hate Splinter in this new one though.
Splinter is either like okay or just terrible. I don't think I've ever seen a Splinter design that looks like really great.
Well, the thing with Splinter, like he's no longer a mystical sensei, and I feel like this show's going to do what a lot of post 2010 cartoons are doing, is they're going to start out episodic and later introduce plot lines, they're going to actually develop the characters and show Splinters more than just some drunk slob here.
I hope. But
yeah.
I love Donnie in the new version, though. Donnie's like my favorite.
I think they're all pretty solid. They personified their looks and their abilities to what like everything to their personalities. Everything like is kind of what they're all about.
Mm-hmm. And all the fighting animation's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can tell the turtles apart easy.
Yeah.
Their voice.
Although I don't feel like their personalities are all that distinct enough just quite yet. I mean, I've only seen like the first 11-minute episodes,
I think every form of media to live action to cartoon, it takes a while to get your footing. Like think of like Parks and Recs, and within like the first whole season is like terrible because they didn't know who everyone was and what the show was even going to be about. And then right after that, they're like, all these characters are now cartoon personified versions of themselves as the series progresses.
They're all Flanders.
Yeah.
That's what people have been saying about Disenchantment on Netflix. Like people were pointing out this old Futurama review by Variety back in the year 2000 where they were saying like, this show ain't exactly The Simpsons, but then again, The Simpsons was not exactly The Simpsons by season 1.
Good choice.
From the creator of The Simpsons
Bring it on, baby.
comes Futurama.
Kill me already! By the way, my name's Bender.
Series premiere Sunday, March 28th on Fox.
You are now dead.
Yeah, and then Futurama became one of the best shows, one of my favorite shows.
The dog episode's usually the best episode.
Oh yeah,
Always.
that just cut your heart out, right?
Which is better, the dog episode or the Clover episode?
Oh, they're both super solid.
Okay, everyone one by
Hi.
one, go by what's your favorite.
Skip.
I guess I'm going to do the dog one since I brought it up. It was the first one to pop up.
I feel like I'm gonna go Clover, and not to split the vote or anything like that, but just because like that one to me was more like he had to deal with just time, like the full realization of just like, oh, everything I know and love is gone. Like, and that whole part of my life, like that, like is a metaphor for like his bond with like everybody, thinking that like especially his brother, thinking like, oh, like this means everything to me, fuck my brother. But then later he's like, oh no, wait, I actually do love my brother. Like, which is just a rare like thing that they ever assessed in that show. Which the dog just kind of seemed to me like a it just kind of seemed an add on to that, like, oh, here's more of my life that like
Which
that
one
I
came
kinda-
first?
I think the Clover.
This reminds me, there was a Futurama video game?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a video game in everything.
Yeah, but the weird thing is the video game actually goes for $100 on eBay. It's on Xbox and PS2. I mean, it's a pretty shitty game, but it goes for $100. And I think the only reason is because back then, when the show was still new, like Futurama hadn't really gotten the cult status it had. So I guess they didn't print that many copies, and that's why the game goes for so much.
Yeah. It
is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like those hardcore fans. I'm looking at it right now, and it looks funky.
I think for the later season of Futurama, the revival seasons, I think the one where Fry got to see his mom again, that goes up there with the other episodes,
Yeah.
Even though
That
I hear a
one-
lot of people didn't like the revival seasons.
I enjoyed the revival season. It definitely, here's why I think it's not the same. I definitely feel it's a different tone. I like what it is in itself, but the biggest change I've noticed, and I've talked about this with my friends before, is the show stops focusing on Fry and everyone else. The episodes are becoming about like what's Bender up to, what's Leela up to, what's Amy up to. Like the rest of the series was always surrounded by Fry learning about the future, and eventually it got to the point where it's like Fry is just as in tune with the future now as everyone else, and that aspect is you can't write a show about that anymore. You have to start writing the show about the individual characters, because it's like if you try to do that, you're like, okay, what else does Fry not know? That like a human outside of the show can actually relate to as a viewer.
You can't just have him fish out of water forever.
I mean, if you think about it this way, like the movies that bridged the two series together were about Bender. Like they stopped focusing on the other cast as a main setting.
Also, I don't understand the hate for the Beast with a Million Backs, or I think it's a title similar to that. Actually, that was my favorite out of the revival movies, but I've seen a lot of people hate it. Though I think the Bender's Big Game was the one that was hated the most.
I mean, I enjoyed it all. Like, I just separate it. It's kind of like here's the one thing when I deal with when people get mad or like attack us here on Ben 10. I always look at them and I just go like, they're always like, you ruined my childhood, you ruined all the shows, whatever. I'm like, hey, if you go to Hulu right now, all the other Ben 10 series you love and know are all on there, free for streaming. Go ahead and take a look. Like, it's kind of like it doesn't ruin what you have. It doesn't take away what you enjoyed. And the thing I've learned is if you bring a show back with the same cast, the same writers, and time has passed, no one's going to be happy. And then if you don't do it, no one's going to be happy. You can't please people. You can't please everyone.
I'm like, in regards to the reboot, the thing that bothers me more than the reboot itself, like, I haven't seen much of it, but from what I saw, it was all right. But like, what bothers me is more so the mismanagement, and that stretches all the way back to like Alien Force, even because there was no sort of quality control in the writing. It was more just like push toys, and then it was like dwindled and fell apart fast. And like, I mean, like, obviously, like I said, like, it's nothing personal to you guys, but I think it's just like when you go back and watch something, you start to find like flaws in it that you didn't notice when you were younger because you were younger. And I feel like that's like sort of like what people kind of why people get upset. It's like they have this sort of prestige that they feel for their shows, and like if you go back and watch them, like, I'm not saying they're bad now because they're not, but like you'll start noticing that like they're not perfect, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to have my old shows be perfect.
No,
But you know,
nothing is.
that's something I've had to learn too. Like even go back like a couple years of the podcast, you'll probably see me say something to the contrary of what I'm saying now. But you know, it's growth, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, growth is important, and every show that you like is going to be what you like. I feel like the people who say like I liked my version, I thought it was better. I think the people who think that their own show is better, they're valid. Like art and media, it's subjective to a degree. So it's like I can't tell a kid, like the kids who are going to grow up with my Ben 10 are going to say their Ben 10's the best. Like I've seen the forums, I've seen the people talking. Every version, someone says their version of Ben 10's the better version of Ben 10. Some kids in the future are going to say this version of Ben 10 is their version. Unless there's another one, then someone's going to say I like my version over that version. And I can't just sit there and inherently talk to these kids and be like, no, yours is the worst version, like, or yours is the best version. Like it's to that viewer's like the eye of the beholder. It's like sometimes it hits with a larger audience and sometimes it hits with a smaller audience.
Yeah,
like,
it kind of reminds me of people who say that this particular season of Saturday Night Live is the best, and it's just like, people, they were all terrible. Chill out.
Well, the Saturday Night Live thing's even worse because like most people go back and watch the best of from a different season or something, so they legitimately only remember the best skits and they totally forget about all the filler in between.
Yeah, like SNL, there's a ton of cannon fodder between skits and what was good and what was bad.
Like for every like one good sketch in any season, there's like 20 awful ones.
I mean, improv's hard.
Life is improv. All right, so news. Scooby Doo, the 13th Ghost. Anyone remember that?
I do. I'm super stoked about this.
It was like from the 90s or what year? 80s, 90s?
I think it was like on the tail end of the 80s. But
yeah,
like,
it was.
Go ahead, Pan. Yeah. I'll let you.
It was a show about Scooby Doo and 13 Ghosts, and they had like this Tim Tam kid or whatever his name is. What was
Flim
his name?
Flam.
Flim Flam.
She clearly knows better than you do, fucker.
I don't know. Then who's Tim Tam?
Izzy, save us, please.
I don't know.
Okay. So basically, after Scrappy Doo saved the Scooby Doo franchise, they kind of experimented more, and to throw things even more crazy and exciting, they made the Ghost Reel, where Scooby, Shaggy, Scrappy, Daphne, Fred, and Velma fucked off for like a season, and they added Flim Flam to the cast with Vincent Van Price as Vincent Van Ghoul. Scooby Doo accidentally opens up the 13 ghost chest, the demon chest, and they have to go around the world catching all the ghosts. But they only caught, I think, 11 of them, but let's just say 12 to make it easy. And they decided, let's bring it back so they can catch the 13th with Velma, Fred, a older version of Flim Flam, and no Scrappy in sight. We're going to have a new movie.
Is Scrappy dead?
Wait, so they're making they're adding the 13th one now?
Yes.
Yeah. Better late than never. Look, they have so many Scooby-Doo movies, they might as well do this one. Finish off where they left off on 13 Ghosts.
I'm looking at like this promotional picture from the ones back then because I had to like refresh my brain on it. And Flim Flam's the kid, right?
Yes. He out Scrappy. Like legitimately, everyone's complaint. Yeah, his design's pleasing, but like he's voiced by Susan Blue, the original RC from Transformers. But like legitimately, even I have a picture to put for the thingy this time, Pan. But like everyone hates Flim Flam. Like Scrappy's hate it within the the fandom because it's just cool to hate on Scrappy. But like once you get introduced to Flim Flam,
Google Flim Flam.
Is the style they're rebooting it the one that they like canceled that everybody liked?
No. So are you talking about Mystery Incorporated?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at like a screenshot, I think, from this new one you're talking about, and it kind of looks like it.
No, the new one. This movie is in the same style they've been doing all the direct-to-DVD movies with.
Okay.
So you might be seeing a screenshot of Mystery Incorporated where they showed Flim Flam and Scrappy. Like it was a joke where there's like a wax museum of Flim Flam, and Daphne's like, "Oh, you guys remember Flim Flam?" And Fred's like, "No, I was busy at trapping camp or whatever." I have no clue who this is. He goes, "Oh, well, he was caught and he's living life sentence in jail." Do you remember Scrappy? No, we never speak of him.
Wait, did Flim Flam go to jail?
In the Mystery Incorporated version.
Right where he belongs. But when was the last time Scrappy was ever used?
I think maybe the Ghoul School or the Boo Brothers or well, no, technically it's a live action Scooby Doo movie.
So they haven't used them unironically in forever.
According to the commentary, when they were writing the movie, they were doing research and they actually found like a Scrappy Doo hate website. And so that's what fueled the writers to make Scrappy the villain of the movie. Scrappy is so hated within the franchise that none of the DVD cases have Scrappy. Like, there's no mention of Scrappy in the like synopsis on the back of the DVDs. There's
So
no
he's just
picture.
not canon. He's not canon like Waluigi.
Well, kind of, where like he doesn't exist on the promotional stuff. But if you look at any of the Amazon reviews for any of the Scrappy movies, it's hilarious because there's a bunch of people like, this isn't the good Scooby Doo. This has that shitty Scrappy in it.
Good God.
It's so fucking funny because I occasionally will go and look because, like, you know, I get excited about Scooby Doo stuff, like the Ghoul School crossover with OKKO. So, like, I went to look up the Ghoul School because I thought about maybe buying it if it's on Blu-ray or something. And I scroll through and there's just people hating on Scrappy in the comment section, feeling like they've been betrayed because there was no mention of Scrappy in the
Oh.
So wait, like, why does everyone hate Scrappy? It's been a while since I've watched Scooby Doo with Scrappy in it.
Puppy power. He's just.
That's it.
I
mean,
mean,
he just wanted to punch ghosts, right?
Yeah, basically, he was a brave Scooby Doo character.
I would try to punch
but
ghosts
it was
too,
like a
man.
combination of things. Like, he just constantly created conflict when he didn't need to, and he was like loud and annoying. He had a terrible voice. He had a catchphrase that was annoying. It was just like a big combination of things.
Nolan, are you describing me on this podcast?
No, I'm describing me.
If I had the resources, I want somebody to just like interview like anybody who worked on the live action Scooby Doo movie, like maybe the director or something, just say, hey, what was the original intent for this what was going to be a PG-13 movie?
I can tell you a lot with creatives and like being in this kind of industry is that a lot of times an answer is always just going to be, I don't know, I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
Because I know James Gunn worked on the first Scooby Doo movie, and it was like, I remember he had a lot of crazy ideas. I want to know what his original intent was before it got cut.
Like, there's some things with like I've seen with like the work I've done on Ben 10 and people like questioning like why I've done something or like why I like they didn't know it was me, but like why that like, oh, this person must have been thinking like, oh, like screw the fans, they hated us and they had to be done with intent, and I'm just like, you never once came into my mind. I was just thought this shape looked cool, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the round table who does speculation on this type stuff all the time.
Izzy, you didn't have to do him in like that.
Oh, come on. It's super true, though.
I mean, yes. I'm not going to pretend it's not.
Anyone listening, 99% of the time, someone just did something because they just thought it was cool and they were in an isolated situation, a part of the bigger system that you think they might be a part of, and then you connect A to B to C to D that aren't actually connected to each other.
What we got to do is just get some people who worked on these cartoons and then have them react to all the weird fan theory videos and just say, wow, this is bullshit.
It's going to be great. They're just going to laugh and go... They're literally just gonna go, I just wrote it. I was like tired. And like, but that's the best part. It's so funny to see how people like are like, I was so tired and I was hitting a deadline, so I just drew him with two heads.
It just reminds me like back when I was a kid and I was making theories and just like looking up fan theory videos on the upcoming movie Cloverfield, and none of it mattered because the movie answered nothing. Yeah.
It's funny because like sometimes there will be those things like those theories or like a conspiracy or something. Like, it's not like that stuff doesn't happen, but I think it happens so far and few between, and I think people just ideally want it to happen more so they can justify an opinion or a feeling that they have.
There's a difference between like the theories and like the actual authorial intent, right? Like some certain like ways you set up a scene or board a scene, you know, or like sprinkling hints throughout the show or something, you know, like if it's a plot or whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking, I mean, what I'm asking basically is we're mostly referring to like really dumb like fan theories or whatever, or like, okay, I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, well, some people think about like, you know, like during the boarding phase or whatever, and my brain just kind of like fried itself a little bit. So
also, I'm looking at this chat, and do people want to replace me with other Andres?
Eric Andre.
I see Andre the Giant, Eric Andre.
Andre the Black Nerd.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Looks like they all want to reboot me.
I just want to going back to that Scooby Doo 13 Ghosts. I think on Amazon or iTunes, there's an 1080p cut of this cartoon from the 80s. Like you can actually see like the cells, like the individual animation cells, floating above the backgrounds.
Holy crap! Sorry, real quick. Holy crap! Someone just literally pinpointed something that I talked about on my podcast.
Oh, what?
They said, Andre, did you ever talk about the time Lindsay Lohan tried to kidnap an immigrant child and got punched by her mother? Yes, I have. And that
Classic.
was literally the only time I've ever done that was on my podcast. So I don't know who that person is.
A fan.
I guess so. Anyways, continue. I'm really sorry to cut you off. I didn't want to forget.
Wow,
it.
Andre, really? A guest on a podcast and you cut him off? Rude.
It's classic Lindsay Lohan, you know?
Classic.
I think about it a lot.
That girl crazy, man.
Every day.
Anyways, she's the Scrapy Doo of the world.
When I lay my head down in my bed as I close my eyes before sleeping, the last thought I always have is Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Don't do that. You'll body switch with her.
Oh God, I don't want to Freaky Friday this shit. Did you know they made another one?
Friday? Is it animated? Because
I know. Like I was walking because I found out about the 13th Curse. I found about this Scooby Doo movie. I was gonna go buy it because I was really stoked about it for some reason. And I'm walking around Walmart, and I guess it came out yet, and or at least it's not in my local Walmart. And I found a Freaky Friday movie, and I was like, "There's a third one, or is it the fourth one? I don't know, but." It has actors I've never seen before.
Does anyone own the rights to Freaky Friday? Is that in the public domain?
It's me. I bought it.
Disney.
Shit, what the hell? So they made their own shitty remake, possibly? I don't know.
They've done the first one, the second one, and I guess now the third one.
There was a Freaky Friday movie before Lindsay Lohan.
Someone, Toon J in the comments says, yeah, Freaky Friday is a musical, this third one.
You guys are making me remember now. Did you guys ever watch The Sweatbox?
The documentary on Emperor's New Groove and what it could have been?
Yeah, its production process.
Yeah, I never actually got to see that, but I know of it.
Yeah, it was like it was a leaked, I think, video from Sting's wife because she was doing the documentary, and I think the way it happened is Disney didn't like it, and it got leaked and torrented because that's my friend torrented and gave me a copy. Sorry, guys. And Disney tried to snub it out from the internet. And I think Disney might be one of the very few successful companies to actually ever snub out in a torrent from the internet.
Wow.
Good luck with that, jerk.
I mean, honestly, if all the companies that had the power, I believe Disney.
It's really fun because you do get to see legitimate creative parts of the process. She does dramatize it a bit with the way she edits it, but then half of it is mostly just about Sting. So I'm kind of also just this is a movie about the Emperor's New Groove. This is a movie about how Sting wanted the movie to be the first way, and mostly the first way because it was a musical and they were using all of his music, and then the new version didn't have him, and it seemed like he was just kind of bummed that he wasn't a huge part of it anymore.
How?
There's one documentary I really want to see is The Persistence of Vision 1 from Richard Williams' Thief and the Cobbler. Pan, you talked about it once, didn't you?
Yeah, I got the DVD in my closet there. Yeah.
If you're not using it, give it to me.
The shipping things takes time.
Stuff it in an envelope and shove it in a mailbox. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Why not just stream? Give me the streaming. Give it on a streaming service, you fuckers. God, it's not hard.
Hey, we got some other news.
What is it?
Shrek. You're expecting Prince Charming. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow. Shrek, rated PG. Starts May 18th everywhere.
Shrek is coming back, and it's being soft rebooted by Illumination for some reason.
Oh, thanks. I love it.
Wait, it's not DreamWorks?
No, for some reason, Illumination is going to take up the Shrek reboot.
Universal owns DreamWorks now, right?
Yeah, so I guess, they're just going to share their things,
Yeah, they own Illumination too, so Illumination can do it.
So they're just rebooting the first movie?
Apparently it's not a reboot, it's a revival.
It's kind of like there's conflicting reports because DreamWorks originally wanted to do Shrek 5, and then now the report is, we're rebooting it with it's going to be like a retelling, sort of. They're going to reboot the franchise entirely along with Puss in Boots. So the plan was originally to revive Shrek and make a fifth one, and then Illumination got their grubby, dirty little hands on it and said, no, we were going to reboot it. It's going to be probably $50 million to make. It's going to make a lot of money. Who cares? We don't.
Okay, I just want to kind of, it's not Shrek oriented, but I when I ever think Illumination now, I think of the fact that they're making a Mario movie. And I love the idea that there is a Mario and Sonic movie in the works right now, and the one about a talking blue hedgehog is not the animated one.
Except for Sonic.
Well, I know he's going to be animated, but the whole point is he's the one that's got the live action movie.
It's going to be like Sonic 06, but real life.
I've been told a lot of weird shit about the movie, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. Like, it could go one way or the other, and I'm very concerned.
This takes me back to, like, I think a few years ago where we had, like, several video game movies coming out, like Angry Birds, Ratchet and Clank, Warcraft, I think Assassin's Creed, and it's like, people were saying this is going to be the year of video games, and it's like, wow, these movies are all terrible.
I actually kind of enjoyed
Angry Birds was okay. Fans of Warcraft like the Warcraft movie, but me as an outsider, I don't know what the hell.
I kind of actually liked Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank wasn't bad. It was just kind of boring.
Yeah, it definitely dragged at parts, but it had good jokes here and there, which I was like, that's all I could ask from it.
I bought the game.
Oh, how was it?
I haven't played it yet. I just buy it. I'm more of a video game hoarder than a video game player. I never have time.
Yeah.
Then I'm the same as you because I have a lot of games that I get to play for like an hour and then I have to do a bunch of work.
It's the animator way. Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi 5.
Oh my god. I've had ever since I got out of college, I've had more time to play video games, and I mostly just play like party games.
You filthy casual.
Jack in the Box is great.
Well, also there's another one that I've been trying to get Izzy to play, but she's a bully and a hater, called Witch It. And it's a game. It's like
I bought it. I'm hoarding it for you, Nolan.
I'm hoarding it for you. But yeah, it's a hide and seek game, and I really want to play it because I think we'd have a great time. But no,
we will eventually. I promise.
Eventually, sure.
I guess we should probably still talk about Shrek, even though there's nothing to talk about.
Well, I would have totally been jazzed for a Shrek 5, to be honest.
Yeah, we all would have, but.
Reboots, whatever, but I would totally like. It would just be a fun movie to me. Like I've had to get in the mindset a lot over the last couple of years of just being like, this is a fun movie, and I'm not gonna like dunk on it. It is what it is.
But the problem is that Shrek 2 is the Citizen Kane of animated movies. Like it's literally perfection. It's perfection.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like that little. To be honest, it's just that segment of "I Need a Hero." That's literally the most perfect moment in animated history.
Robo's going to be really pissed with you because she's like, Shrek 2 isn't as good as everybody says it is because she's also a hater.
Yes,
rude.
That's my friend Bernie has gotten me to say hater a lot, and my friend Nemo has gotten me to say woof like whenever something bad happens, and I hate them both.
Oh. I
always say tsundere when someone's being mean.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that Nemo's a furry, so like I feel like I'm like dog whistling, no pun intended.
Oh.
I love you, Nemo. That was a funny joke, please. Also,
have you had to ever find them?
Huh?
Have you ever had to find them?
Find Nemo? Oh, fuck you. Wow.
Oh.
Like to take low blows.
I mean that's not much of a low blow so much as it was like a bad joke, but okay.
I guess that's what I mean, more like low brow humor.
we like to have fun here. I like Andre's grabbing like a coffee from our like craft services station. I walk up behind him and I'm like grabbing him on the shoulder. Listen, you make a mockery of me again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna dunk your head in the fucking toilet, I swear to God. Andre's like, I just wanted coffee, man. I actually like the idea of us having like a studio with a craft service station, like we're that important.
But you continue the podcast live throughout the entire studio, so when you go over to the craft service, it's still going.
Yeah, Pan Roundtable gets a studio. Why can't we? What the hell?
What the fuck? Oh yeah, somehow Roundtable has a studio for some reason. Like you know, you
could have just
competitors.
Like
no, they're
friends.
They're
like
friends.
They could have just had a tree
They're
house.
friends of ours.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're frenemies.
They're in the server. I just like making fun of them because I'm a fucking bully.
Yeah, more
we
or
don't need
less.
we don't need a studio like the Round Table. We can get a tree house. That's enough.
no, instead of a studio, like Frederator gives us a trailer. Just like
Oh shit! Then we can go
I would
anywhere.
be down for a trailer because like one of those like mobile trailers. Like, can we get an RV? We could travel around the U.S. We'll do like a
We'll
tour.
be like Ben 10. We'll shoot our own Ben 10 reboots.
oh my god, it's come full circle. Get ready,
Yes.
get ready, Andre. We're about to show your nerd reboot how it's done.
Hey man, I'm all up for a challenge. Let's see it.
Whoop whoop.
We I did remake Rocket Power in action, so I think I have the chops. I can do it.
Hey man, let's see it. I will tip my hat if you make a successor. That is better.
My Ben 10 maker.
We're always in our RV getting high, super fuckers.
I mean, if we get an RV, we can finally film the Pizza
Okay.
Party podcast movie in which we try to find the last blockbuster.
Yes.
Oh yeah, somewhere in Alaska.
Trouble in Tokyo. We find the
Trouble
last.
in Alaska.
We find the last. We try to find the last blockbuster, but we wind up in Tokyo. That's how Pan Pizza
Whoops,
Trouble in
not
Tokyo
again.
begins.
How did we get to Tokyo with the RV?
It happens.
It happens, yeah. But
I don't know if I want like the Wild Thornberry style where like there's just a raft underneath the RV is how we get through the ocean, or if we somehow stumble onto a giant crate
Something like that.
plane.
You know, they had that thing. I don't even know if that's possible. Like when I was younger, I thought, is there an RV that can really do that? And now I'm thinking, like, with all the military stuff out there, like maybe there is something like that. I don't know. I don't know how the Thornberry's got like a military grade Humvee, but
they film
thought
a
that was cool.
TV show. That's how.
You can't. They're not just gonna. Discovery Channel's not just gonna give you a fucking military grade Humvee like that.
Yeah, they would. Have you not seen Hunting Bigfoot on Animal Planet?
I guess. Oh, is
Yeah,
that where Nigel Thornberry is now? Is he just making like hunting
He's
Bigfoot
making, like-
documentaries?
Yeah, they should have done that. Why didn't they do that? Wild Thornberry sucks. Can't.
Yeah.
Where's
Is,
the Wild
you know,
Thornberry
it's like-
reboot?
Is anyone watching Animal Planet anymore? Is whatever Nigel Thornberry did profitable anymore?
I think
we-
the Kraft brothers have a new show according to Defunct Land.
Who?
The Crack Brothers. Yeah, they got a PBS show. It's animated. Anyone remember the Crack Brothers? They were in Zaboomafoo.
Me and James from Odd Ones Out got into a real long discussion about Zaboomafoo in the egg episode.
The egg
What the
episode?
hell is Zaboomafoo?
Zaboomafoo was like a Discovery Kids program where there was like this lemur
PBS.
puppet.
Oh,
Or PBS.
I just Googled. Yeah, I know. Okay, I've seen that. I
Yeah,
watched that.
it's that one thing everybody
The
has seen.
lemur.
Yeah, it's that one thing everybody has seen but doesn't quite remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, did that actually happen, or am I just fucking crazy?
You
Or
guys are unlocking a lot of old memories for me today.
It's me
That's what we
and
do.
you and Zaboomafoo.
Oh, you okay there?
no,
Yeah.
I'm
He's having
I don't
an
think so.
aneurysm.
Look, that thing. Look, they had that little treehouse thing. Like, what did they have? Like some sort of shack in the middle of the forest.
Animal Junction is what I think it's called.
Oh yeah, and they had that vending machine. Like there was for every animal, I guess, and there was one for humans, and it was a pizza vending machine. But Zaboomafoo was a little shit. He didn't want to talk unless you gave him garbanzo beans or something.
Yeah, you had to feed him first, and then he would turn into a puppet. It's weird.
Yeah, like it would cut between like a real lemur and then a puppet of that same lemur. Like I'm not being fooled by this. I can tell which is which as a 9-year-old. I know
Fuck you,
what
Yeah.
it is.
Zaboomafoo. You suck.
You didn't outsmart me.
Then they had that weird limited animation claymation thing where like they had these like characters that were like abstract, and they kept using the same animation over and over again.
Yeah, like I think one of them was like a drill for a head.
They just spin like it wasn't animation. They just
Like Zaboomafoo would have to cut the show and just have a segment where Zaboomafoo's like, hey, I just saw an animal, and it's just him trying to piece together this animal out of clay, and he's singing like, who could it be? This animal that I did see,
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu.
Pretty much.
I did just find a Zaboomafoo EX Pokemon card on Google Images.
Say what?
Wow.
Apparently he evolves from a badger, but that doesn't make any sense.
That don't make sense.
But his main attack is talk. Your opponent's Pokemon is now confused because of talking lemur.
Holy
And then
shit.
its main attack its special attack is Martin and Chris. They have come to help Zaboo defeat you, and then it's 200 points of damage.
I
He
see.
evolves if he has a Garbanzo seed. No, a Garbanzo stone.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
no.
Pan, do you have any other news?
Everyone's abandoning TV and going to Netflix, apparently.
Well, that's not really news.
That's reality. Because Alex Hirsch, Jorge Gutierrez, Craig McCracken, and a bunch of others are just going to Netflix and making their own stuff.
I mean, just like I'm sure you guys all know every cartoon station that we have now is all going to go to streaming eventually. So
Yeah.
it's not like, oh no, we'll have no more cable TV, because that's why I feel like they're trying to push people to be like, oh look, everyone's leaving to streaming. No one cares about cable anymore. It's well, yeah, no shit. I have an Apple TV. Half everybody does, or a Roku, or a Google Chrome stick. Like, duh, everyone's going to streaming. Like, this isn't a surprise. And once the other networks go over, people are gonna go back to those studios to do streaming on those platforms.
Oh.
It's not the end of Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, but it is the end of cable, which makes me very happy.
Yeah, me too. So then when Spectrum calls me, I could go, hey Spectrum, you now are owner of Cartoon Network because you're part of AT&T. Thank you for your service. I can't say anything bad about you. Bye. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
AT&T is like listening in on this, and then like one of the suits is just like holding their finger over the a button that just is like terminate Andre.
Oh, are they listening? Hey, AT&T, stop calling me. I have internet, and that's all I want. No one uses a landline. They all have cell phones. Please stop calling me. Please only offer me internet, and just please stop calling me from where I used to live, because it's really creepy.
Okay, well, while we're on the same subject, Spectrum, please stop calling me about your streaming service. I cannot tell you how much I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't want your Roku stick. Get it out of here, AT&T. Who wants that? I don't want a stick.
No, not even a stick. Like for Spectrum, they're like, "Would you like to try our streaming service? It's like live TV." And I'm like, "That just sounds like cable."
Oh, I thought that was the Roku. Now they have that.
It's just cable. That's what it is.
Every time they call, I just go, I have an Apple TV. And they're like, would you like a phone? I have an Apple TV. And they're like, would you like cable? I have an Apple TV. Would you like? I have an Apple TV. Internet, get with it. And then I hang up.
Yeah. Show them.
I mean, I don't blame the callers because they're just doing their job. But like, goddamn, just let me live.
No, I say that because when they say, are we recording? I usually always talk to the recording. If I'm not in a good mood, I'm not joking. They'll call me, and if I'm really in a bad mood that day, I'll be like, "Are they recording this?" And they go, "Yes." I'm like, "This is not to you. This is to them.
Yeah.
Stop offering me this crap because no one's going to use it in the next 5 years at all." Like, the best thing you can do for your business is just lean into the internet.
For DVDs, when you bought a DVD, like how many times did you watch it realistically? Like once?
Weekly?
Depends what it was.
Weekly?
I tried to watch
VHS. I watched them nonstop.
Yeah, same here.
But I think we
But
were
that was
also a
like-
kid
I
at the
was a-
time too. We had more time.
And you didn't understand that rewatching something would eventually wear you down.
Right. Well, like I bought plenty of DVDs. I haven't even put in yet. I just wanted to own the thing.
I still buy DVDs and stuff because I'm very, very concerned about digital archiving.
I exclusively buy Blu-rays now.
Yeah, no, Blu-rays for me too, especially Criterion because I love Criterion movies. They have a lot of good stuff. Like one of my favorite movies, Houseu.
Oh, I love House.
Yeah, House is fucking lit. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's just fucking weird.
Great. Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a good time. It's one of those movies where people are like, it's not a real horror movie. Like, it's fun. It's for fun. Just chill.
Yeah.
People gotta learn to have more fun in life.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much crazy shit going on in the world. Just learn to enjoy. Like, people got upset over Venom. I'm like, Venom's a fun movie. It's great. Just sit back and enjoy a dude doing a really bad impression. It's great.
Yeah.
I love that impression. It's so charming. Now, I'm not even being sarcastic. I genuinely love it.
Yeah. I'm excited for the sequel to Venom since there is that one after credits thing.
What was in the after credits?
Yeah, to watch the movie and find out.
You're
Well, now-
not tricking me into watching the movie. Please just tell me now.
Too bad. No,
I just said it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Andre said Carnage.
Don't repeat it. Shush.
Yeah, Carnage is.
No.
Yeah, get fucked, Pan.
Because spoilers for Venom's after credits, like the after credits for Venom, like human Venom, he goes into a prison and he's going to interview some guy because he's a journalist, and it's Woody Harrelson with a red wig, and Woody Harrelson says, "When I get out of here, there's gonna be a whole lot of carnage."
The wig was pretty silly.
Yeah, well,
it was like it looked like you got it like an Afro clown wig from like the costume store.
It looks like you got a Jeff the Killer mask from the costume store. Ooh.
Also, if that's your real hair, I'm really sorry.
Rude.
Shout out to him.
I just love when like superhero movies are too afraid to say the superhero name, so they had to work it into the dialogue in some form. Like the second Hulk movie, the one where there was some scientist guy that was about to be mutated or something, and some military guy says, "Hey, mutate me with this," and the scientist tells him, "I can't mutate you with that. You'll become an abomination." Because that's the name.
I see.
Yeah.
I liked how, I mean, it was like, I don't think ever like saying the name of the movie or like the hero is like, I don't think there's any way around it where you can go like, yeah. But
I am the mighty Thor, the Dark World. Rated PG-13.
I didn't mind the Venom one. That was just like, we are Venom. But like, it was obviously prompted in the silly way where it's just like, who are you? We are Venom. And then it's just like, I don't mind that one. Captain America, I think, is the only like one of the few appropriate ones because they made him into a cartoon personified version of himself during the World War as a gimmick to promote people. So when he's just like, I'm Captain America, people are like, oh shit, it's like if like Jeff Goldblum came in, he's like, hey, it's me, Jeff Goldblum, and you're like, oh shit. A celebrity's here. Bro, if it was like Iron Man, he'd be like, I'm Iron Man. You'd be like, okay, cool.
I guess we're kind of getting more used to allowing the superheroes to actually say their freaking name for once, I think.
Although, but it's also weird. If you tiptoe around it and don't say it, you're also like, come on.
Just say it, you freaking coward.
Say the line. I'm Captain America. Yeah.
But with streaming, like I'm excited. Like stuff going to Netflix, like that's great. Like there needs to be more animation. There needs to be more opportunities. Netflix also allows for more adult cartoons that are not Sausage Party.
And also, is it true that their standards and practices are super lax in general, or
there are none?
It depends. Like I worked my prior show that I worked on. I worked at this place called Sprite Animation. It's a branch studio of another one. It's a Japanese animation studio, but they have one here. And I was working on like this Okay Kids cartoon for Netflix, but and then I got to work at some, I guess, just a little prop myself up. I got to do some revisions on the Pokemon animated series, introduction. And I got to do some revisions for this very minor stuff, but like it was just extra work there handed to me when we were waiting for stuff. And that's one thing, video game called Snack World that released in Japan. It's really cool. But yeah, other than those cool things I got to slightly work on, the 3D show that I worked on that I wasn't super jazzed about, it was for Netflix and was one of the first cartoons actually made for Netflix, and it was 3D. It's called Kong, King of the Apes. It's, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
I learned that actually there are two different versions of Kong copyright. There is Kong, King of the Apes, and then there is King Kong. And those are apparently two separate copyrights.
It's very fascinating, actually.
Yeah, I guess that explains why. And also Nintendo's Donkey Kong.
Yeah. So I guess there's three versions of King Kong. Yeah. But working with them, they were standards and practices, and we get notes back, but they would just be... They're so different than what like a normal networks is. Like with like the average network, they're always like, you gotta make sure all the characters are wearing a seatbelt. In this one, they had something similar, but they were like, oh, we're in a helicopter, so everyone's got to hold on to something. Which is weird because like if you put people in a walking around helicopter, in like an American cartoon, they don't have to hold on to anything. So it's like their standards and practices are very different. And I think the standards and practices they weren't like Netflix had their own, and they were very chill. We always get like a little bit of notes, but the company we were working for, which I don't remember who they were, they had their own standards and practices. So I've learned that depending on who it is and what the company is, they can also have their own version of it. Because when we do Ben 10, we have our network standards and practices. They're a lot more lax than you'd think. And then there are international standards and practices that, depending on how what your show is marketing towards, will then be determined by that show. Like the international, like, will these countries be upset about this? Are they trying to teach a certain lesson to kids about this? You have to take in a lot of different things in terms of standards and practices than just that country or that area standards and practices. But I don't think Netflix cares.
Because no matter what, they're doing their own platform.
Yes, they get to make up their rules. Like cable has to go by like a standard that they all set. And
Netflix is basically international waters. No rules. They could kill a man if they want to.
Oh yeah, but the downside of that is, like, if a movie was like, if Netflix made a show that was planned to be released internationally, and it was like they made it and they're like, oh, we're gonna put it in all these other countries, and let's say like most countries other than the United States hated it and no one wanted to watch it, and these other countries it goes down, Netflix would take it off. And whereas in like the US, they'd be like, okay, we have to like start adjusting things to appropriately have this cartoon still be able to air on all networks. Where I think like Netflix can afford to just take something down, where with cable television, you can't really afford to take something off because you're investing so much money in the show. Mm-hmm. But that could also be why maybe Netflix also is hemorrhaging money at the same time.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, last we heard about their like finances, they were in great amounts of debt. Did that change at all? Or?
It'll get better. Just, you know,
well, I don't work there, so I'm not sure. But it's public knowledge at this point, I think, that they're not doing so hot financially. But
hey,
yeah,
you know,
I mean, like, didn't they cancel a bunch of shows too?
Yeah. Well, here's something that I've also discussed with somebody. Their platform is terrible organization wise. Like, most of their own original content, I didn't even know was coming out. Like, when I came on one time, Orange is the New Black was on, and then I was just like, I didn't notice it till like 3 weeks later, and I was like, what? Wait, how long has this been here? Like, everything gets buried. There's stuff on there I find that's awesome that I never even knew went up there. Like, the show we made that was for Netflix, when Netflix didn't have a lot of original series, they didn't even put it up. It made me feel like they were embarrassed of it, but
no.
But like, they just threw it on and you had to like search for it. Like, there's a lot, and after working on something like that, I realized that there's a lot of shows they just throw up and don't ever talk about, and you never know.
I worked
there.
on one. I worked on Kulipari, Army of Frogs.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but cool.
Yeah, it's a Netflix series.
Probably because Netflix didn't put it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on their thing. You can search for it. I've never watched it, but it's there.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They just throw things up and then don't say anything about it.
Yeah, I feel like their menu interface on smart TVs is very disorganized. Like, I wish there was just a simple, like, here's everything listed that we have, and everything. The only way to see things is just like listed as action movies, feel good movies, and it's just like these weird specific things, and it's like, just give me a list, an entire list.
They have a lot of their own, they have so much original content now that they can warrant not even putting a Netflix original on their special page that they have at the top.
Yeah,
like, and that sucks because it's like, oh, more famous and better paid people for this spot on the front get this page now, and the rest of you Netflix originals just get thrown in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
into the trash they go.
I was also going to say, in regards to the organization on smart TVs, I'm just going to be honest. I think every fucking app on a smart TV has bad organization.
Hulu's is the worst.
Hulu's is pretty bad. I really don't like operating Hulu.
They just updated the web browser and it's even worse somehow. And I'm just like, can't I just have simple buttons?
And this reminds me, I gotta I gotta cancel my 14-day trial for some streaming for an app, since I was just like, I wanted to watch something, but I gotta cancel it before they take money from my credit card.
Just tell us, Pan, what were you trying to watch?
Senran Kagura.
Senran Kagura?
Yeah,
you could do worse. You could do cringier anime than Senran.
Yeah.
Speaking of anime, didn't and this might be old news at this point, but didn't Funimation leave Crunchyroll, leaving it with like losing
there was a couple
40 or 50 like animes gone?
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I just know Spo told me that they left Verve, so I don't know if there's overlap there.
I'm pretty sure this is public knowledge. I think it's because Crunchyroll is owned by AT&T in the buyout, and I think Funimation is owned by Sony, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they had to separate because they were now owned by two different people who did not agree on the same contracting platform.
Oh, it's like the Parent Trap.
That's my assumption that I'm puzzling from those pieces, because that seems to make a lot of sense, because a lot of shows now are kind of shifting due to the buyout.
Yeah, isn't Hulu like one of the only streaming platforms with like multiple like studios?
Owners?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because when it was founded, it was like everyone jumped on it to be like, let's all invest in this company. And Hulu, like, whoever made Hulu was smart in the sense that like they're like, we're going to go to streaming and let's offer deals that Netflix can't, and let's give them all part ownership, because I'm sure all those companies want part ownership or something, but they can't all part own Netflix.
Well, I mean, at this point, isn't Hulu like mostly owned by Disney at this point?
Is it? Because I know Disney's coming out with their own streaming service.
Well, because they bought Fox, and I think ABC's the third of it. Because it was like
they bought properties of Fox.
Oh, okay.
They gutted it, because like all their news and stuff, that's still going to be their own thing. They
What about
bought
the Simpsons,
like,
because I've heard
they bought all their cartoons. I think they bought all their media, like TV shows, movies, and cartoons. And I think all their news and sports stuff they left to the Fox company.
I know they probably weren't.
I could be wrong.
Trying to
someone fact.
I know they were trying to massively acquire like a lot of properties and stuff, but all I can think of is when they were trying to buy Fox, they were like, "Man, we really want the X-Men back."
Yeah, please. I would love them to calling them human enhanced or enhanced humans.
No, like I just like the idea that like people are like, "Oh man, Disney's so evil. They're like going to take over the earth." And I'm just like, I like thinking of the idea that we really want X-Men, so I guess we have to buy the rest of this too.
Yeah.
I want, you're talking about how they can now call them mutants. I just want like, are you human enhanced? No, a mutant American.
Oh.
So who would you guys want? I mean, this is all animation related, I guess. So maybe I won't ask this question.
No, go for it. Do it now.
I was going to say, who would you want to play new Wolverine?
Old Wolverine,
Bart Simpson,
like in live action or animated.
I guess for the actor, because Hugh Jackman's not going to keep up.
Oh
yeah, Hugh Jackman's
who's young and gruff. I don't know my live action actors really.
All right, fine. Who would you want to play a cartoon Wolverine?
Well, I think
you can pick from any voice actor from anime to cartoon, or live action actors playing cartoon.
What I want is Marvel to make a new cinematic universe for animation, and Wolverine is on every single thumbnail, even though he's not in the episodes proper.
Oh,
I like Scott McNeil, Scott McNeil. I love him when he voiced Wolverine. So
in the original or Evolution?
He did an Evolution, so which is my favorite X-Men cartoon.
I want them to keep like adding. I want them to make a new X-Men cartoon and keep rotoscoping stuff from John Hughes movies. That'd be great.
Behind this door, evil yearns to be free. But first, two pieces of a relic must be joined. They form a key, the Spider Stone. Now the X-Men must battle to keep the door closed and the evil within. Apocalypse. X-Men Evolution. An all-new episode is next, right here on Kids WB.
That's something you remind me of something that I know people get upset about, that I like in animation. There's a lot of animators or people who like hate it when or they say it's not real creative work when somebody references something like animation. Like there's in Boondocks, there's scenes where they've replicated scenes from Naruto, like certain fights, and a lot of people just say oh, whoever boarded that or whoever animated that, they're not a real animator, they're not a real board artist because they paid an homage to this scene or whatever. And I just don't agree with that. I think it's people do it all the time. Even Japan will do it to their own stuff.
Well, Japan does it. Disney's done it.
Yeah, and it's what's animation? There's no harm in recreating or reusing something. Sometimes you do it because you just want to pay love to something that you enjoy. I've done it. But you still create new stuff. It's just, I don't know. I've seen a lot of artists online being harassed when they do it in their personal projects, and they're just when you come with something original, it's well, they are making an original content. They just put this small bit in here that they really liked from something else, and they thought it would work well with their thing. And it's like that doesn't make that person any less talented or original.
I think the difference now is that like before, people weren't as in tune with everything. Like everyone doesn't have the giant catalog and knowledge of stuff. So like, because everything makes references. Like Star Wars is nothing but a hodgepodge of things that George Lucas was into. You know?
Yeah.
But now that we now know stuff and we are more connected, we can watch the stuff. We have a catalog. We have the archive. Now it doesn't seem as like charming or as clever because we're in on the joke, or we're not necessarily the joke, but we're in on the reference.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree, and I think that it's like now everything's accessible on the internet. People who never had any animation or not being an animator now has that available knowledge. So sometimes I feel like as someone who's working in the industry, I look back and say like, oh, kind of it almost seems like the mass of people who are like learning about animation for the first time as a whole group, as things become more and more out there for everybody else that aren't in the industry. I feel like everybody's like kind of going through the phases that I did when I was going through school and stuff, where I'm like learning how to like have a detective eye to animation or film, and like figuring things out, and then thinking you know a bunch of stuff, and then finding out you actually don't know a lot of stuff. And then I feel like I see a lot of that just as a whole in terms of the community. And I feel like sometimes that's what happens when people are being harassed like that. People who are just like, they just found out about this, or they think they know better, even though they might not be an animator or in that thing, in that kind of scenario. And then they harass people for it. And I'm just like, you gotta let them catch up. They'll get there.
I agree with you. I think also, I think there's a lot of like really loud, there's some things that get really weird where people, the hive mind all kind of agreed on the thing and it's not inherently correct. Like I've seen a couple of like different concepts, like CalArts, for example, that term be used, and it's not like what people.
I hate that
term. Like it's been snowballed into something else, and so like you have to kind of decide if like if the actual definition of what it meant is real, or if the new perception, like what's more important, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys are savvy enough and probably talked about this before, that every generation of animation does have trends, and it's always been like that. Even like Japanese animation has trends, like that they're just similar design or quality or like a thing in that moment. Like even action themes or comedy themes, everything's just kind of in a stage. Everything used to look like He-Man back in the day.
Oh, that was the CalArts of the 80s.
Yeah, but it's like I can attest to this as someone who works at Cartoon Network and has worked there for like the last 3 years, 3+ years. There is so much of variety of artists there for the listeners. There are so many people there. I hardly know any CalArts people that actually work at Cartoon Network.
Nolan, Pan, you got quiet. What's up?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just like, you guys want to get into the questions?
I was listening. Oh. I just don't have much to add at the moment.
Yeah, we can listen, Izzy.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure everyone was part of the conversation. I'm sorry that I was thinking about your feeling.
We wanted to start a conversation.
Yeah,
just like the staff of Voltron.
Yeah.
The animation industry is diverse. That's my end to note there. It's diverse in every way.
It's diverse, but sometimes there are projects where you can't show it.
Oh, I guess I was talking more about the people that work behind the scenes. But yeah, there's people from all over.
You've got mail.
2 pan pizza. I'll edit this out, but please remember to unsubscribe from Crunchyroll's 14-day free trial and watch the last remaining episodes of Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. Yes.
Wait, did you just leave a note to yourself here right now?
Yes, so I'll remember it. I'm gonna edit this podcast, so I need a reminder.
Don't forget to go pick up my groceries. Let the kids up from their soccer game.
Why don't you just write it down?
I'm gonna for sure edit this. That's
why don't you write it down like on a notepad or like a fucking loose leaf?
Who uses a notepad in this day and age?
You could use your fucking phone.
How like text myself?
Your phone has a memo feature. You can write down notes.
Am I gonna remember to look at the memos later?
You can leave timed or dated or location based reminders. Jesus Christ, Izzy, it's not that funny.
Look, guaranteed I'm going to have to edit this podcast, so I'm going to hear that note and be like, oh yeah, watch Senran Kagura and remove the 14-day free trial.
You wanted to hide the fact that you watched Senran Kagura, and now you're just like, remember to watch Senran Kagura in front of everyone to hear. Like, what was your end game? What was your end goal with that? Just out of curiosity, you know.
Look, maybe I have some fans who are into Senran Kagura, and they're like, "Hey, whoa, Pan likes Senran Kagura."
Everybody who's listening to this after like the stream, please type, Pan, remember to watch Senran Kagura, just so he remembers. Just
yes.
Okay.
Can you title that this episode?
Yeah, title that. Pan needs
title this episode. Remember
to watch Senran Kagura with Andre.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
So which is your favorite Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash character? Mine's the green-haired girl. I don't know their names. I don't care about the story at all.
What are you talking about? What?
Senran Kagura.
Nobody knows what. God damn it!
I like the green-haired girl who has no emotions.
I've never seen what you're talking about.
I'm googling this. Let me see what this is.
Oh my god!
Is it gonna be like just mostly boobies?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, at least
there's also an octopus on. There's also octopus on boobs.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Someone link me to the intro.
They got good diversity. There's a grandma here.
I like how when you're Googling for a show that's basically just ecchi, like your first inclination is to go, I wonder how the representation is.
Grandmas.
Yeah. We need to diversify Senran Kagura, you know?
Hey, I'm looking at this one photo with all the girls, and then there's a little grandma on the side.
A grandma?
Yeah, that's a grandma.
You're never too old to join in, you know?
Oh my god, just stop talking, please. Christ almighty.
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to be taking questions?
No.
Hey, let's get into questions.
No, it's too late.
Cool.
It's too late for that. We can't.
Chat, what's your favorite Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash character?
Oh my god.
Madam Hustler says, question, what are your thoughts on the Denver the Last Dinosaur reboot?
What's Denver? Who?
It's a 80s cartoon about a dinosaur, and he's the last dinosaur, and it's like, Denver, the last dinosaur.
What's a
He's
dinosaur?
my friend, and so much more. Which that was the theme song.
This looks familiar.
It's 80s as heck.
Oh no, I do remember this. I remember that gross long neck dinosaur. I'm sorry, I guess I just gave you my opinion. I think he's a gross long neck dinosaur.
Yeah. I mean, the old show was 80s as hell, and I'm like, was this show even any good? I mean, like, I'm sure people are gonna be mad about any reboot, but it's like, was the old show even good to begin with? It looks dated.
I mean, I guess my opinion isn't valid because I just talk about him visually, but
but yeah, the theme song for Denver the Last Dinosaur was always like, he's my friend and so much more. And I'm curious, what does he mean by this? How is he these kids' friend and so much more? What does the so much more insinuate here?
He's friends with benefits with the kids. That's what you're implying.
I know, but
That's what you set up, and
what does the show imply? They can't mean that.
I think it's just so much more. It's just, like, Pan, you're such a good friend, and so much more.
That was very nice of you, Izzy. It was a very nice thing to say.
Fuck you, Nolan.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Here's a question that's related. Question, Pan, in your Lost Superheroes cartoon top 10, you mentioned a guy who worked on that TMNT pilot. You said he worked on something else that you would cover later in a video. What was that? Okay, so there was a cartoon that he worked on, and it turned out to be NeoYokio, which at the time of making that video, it was missing from the internet, but then it just popped up on Netflix randomly. So yeah, it was NeoYokio.
Pan worked on NeoYokio?
I didn't. It was some guy I talked about who worked on some TMNT pilot from the 2000s.
I want to work on NeoYokio. That would be fun.
I love NeoYokio. They're making a Christmas special movie.
I still don't know.
Oh, are they?
Is NeoYokio like ironic? Like,
I think so.
I honestly don't know, because it's like, I know Jaden Smith didn't write it or anything, but it's just like it feels like how Jaden Smith thinks.
I feel like the way it was is Jaden was a part of the process in the sense that he sat there and told them what he felt and what he wanted the vibe to be as they made it, probably. And that's probably why you get that like strange Jaden vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the writers, I have no idea if they had ulterior motives to what he was telling them.
No one knows.
Either way, it turned out
why it
great.
works. Sometimes you just need a cartoon that you don't know if it's sincere or if it's like ironic, and that's why it works.
Someone asked like what our thoughts on Hazbin Hotel was, and I think that's kind of cool to talk about because it's not like a network made show.
Yeah.
Something more indie. I think it looks cool and it has promise because I have no idea where it's going to go. Not enough out there for me to know a full opinion on it, but it looks cool.
I like the idea of it, but the animation looks like it's barely held together.
Oh.
What's the term I'm looking for? They like draw unique poses for each frame, even when they should be holding certain parts of their bodies, I guess. So everything kind of looks very like unintentionally like like boiled lines, I guess, but not like how Ed and Eddie does it. You know, y'all get what I'm saying? Do I make any sense?
Yeah,
Am I talking out of my asshole. I don't know.
I look at it and just go, you got more determination and work ethic than I do because I don't know if I could ever make a show by myself, like with hardly any money or funding.
Mm-hmm.
So I give them props to just making something that they love.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes without saying. It's just like, that was just my thoughts. I'm a very nitpicky asshole. So
It looks like it was a comic before, from what I'm looking at.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bleed in from people who work on comics to animation, as far as I've heard.
Yeah, a lot of these days.
Next question, because I haven't seen anything that Hazbin Hotel. I've heard people talk about it, but I haven't actually watched anything of it myself.
Yeah, I've seen like images of it, and I haven't really I haven't watched it. I don't think I really have interest in it.
They've released a lot of clips.
For what?
Hazbin Hotel.
Oh, I thought we were talking about something else. Yeah, I saw they did like a big music number thing. That was really cool. There's like so many characters. I can't imagine drawing all of them. Oofa doofa.
Oofa doofa.
What's the worst website you've ever visited?
I was about to ask. I was about to read the same one. Okay, so MIA, the music artist, she apparently is a graphic designer herself, and around 2008, 2009, 2010-ish, she had her own website, and it was nothing but wall-to-wall GIFs, like flashing fucking GIFs. The whole page. It was literally one of the worst things I've ever seen. In fact, I was in college and I was in a graphic design class, and the teacher asked us to bring in the worst thing we've seen ever designed. I brought that in and won.
Yeah, good job.
Oh God.
Let me see if I can find an archive website for it, because it's
got
something.
one.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Facebook.
I remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force had this one website based on some internet wizard guy, and when you go on this website that was in Aqua Teen, it just spams you with a bunch of pop-ups, and you just have to like shut down your entire browser to stop it.
It was Andre's turn.
Oh, sorry.
I yelled it like 3 times. It's Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
Always.
Facebook is the worst website I've ever seen in my life.
It's
everything's like a goddamn advertisement, and it hurts my eyes. I barely go on it.
Yeah.
I go on it a lot because I can only talk to people on it because they refuse to get any other form of instant messenger.
For me, family, since I don't live in Detroit anymore.
Guess what I found? Click this.
Is it the GIF website?
Yes. Look
Good
how
job.
bad
No,
this
thanks.
was.
This site was designed to be bad on purpose, but Eric Andre's homepage is awful looking, and I love it.
Most of these images won't load, but yeah, I can already tell.
In more of a technical way that a website's bad, one I would say is terrible is Webtoons, where I upload my webcomic. It's like we're trying to upload anything on there is always a hassle, because it's like it just keeps warning you, like you upload an image and it just says no, it has to be 800 by something resolution, which is utter shit resolution if you're on a desktop. And then you try it again, it's like, no, it has to be a JPEG now. And it's just like, just let me upload the thing, damn it.
Sounds like they don't have a lot of storage space on their computer.
And there's
bandwidth. But like, honestly, there's a lot of websites that used to be super good, and each update to make it more user-friendly makes it less user-friendly. Like, remember when PhotoBucket was like the one website to use if you ever want to hot link an image?
Oh, it was so quick to upload crap too.
Yeah, but now it's like it doesn't want to be that anymore, and it's like its own thing. It's weird. Or I remember when Google Drive was super convenient, but now it's all these like flashy HTML5 like windows, and I can't just simply right click and download. I have to like right click, go to a menu, I hate it.
Yeah, that's awful.
Twitter's about to make some interesting changes that could really change the idea of how people want to use it. They're removing likes.
Boo.
Well, is
like
that
the like
I thought
button.
no, I thought that was a rumor or a hoax.
No, it's a thing.
No, it's a thing. They used like something that this wasn't what made them decide to do it, but they were using like an argument that Kanye West made. And when I read his argument, not his argument, but his stance, he said which was unseparated from it. It was actually, unlike everything else he's been saying recently, it actually made some sense in the sense that it was like a lot of people are using likes on Twitter to use certain toxic environments. Like apparently there's a lot of kids out there that are actually threatening to commit suicide unless they get a certain amount of likes.
Now they'll get no likes.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like, oh, people are kind of like lost the sight of what liking something means, which is to say I appreciate this, but they don't like the superficial like this post if you agree, or retweet this post if you agree. So I think they're just trying to be like, they've realized that it's really toxic is what they're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with them.
Funny considering it's Twitter and they don't ban Nazis at all.
What they're trying to do is they are trying to get it to where no one can ever make those polls where it's like retweet of this one or like the other.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too.
That's always a flawed system because the one that's reblogged is going to get more viewership, you know?
And what if you want to share it to get somebody else's opinion? You've tainted the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think retweeting will still be there. It's just that the like system is they're talking about removing. But they said they're trying to do it in a way and work a system in that might substitute it. But I literally have no idea what that's going to be.
Well,
thumbs up and thumbs down.
Twitter's been trying to say they're trying to get more people to debate and talk and engage in Twitter more.
But that's what people already fucking do.
Right, but they want it more. Because I know that they were also trying to show people opposite opinions more, so there's no echo chambers.
Then there'll just be more people fighting, I guess. But what other questions are there?
Hopefully good ones.
What makes a good humorous cartoon villain?
Flaws.
Contrast. A foil either by I guess just a foil in general.
Being able to back it up.
All I can say is don't put monologues in. That's just a criticism over villains in a general sense. I think Yzma is a great example of a good villain. From a personal group.
I like subversion a lot. That's one of my favorite tropes. Like Syndrome, starts monologuing, and when Mr. Incredible tries to make a move, but Syndrome's too quick for him, he's like, "You sly dog, you got me monologuing."
Yeah, I feel like if you do it in a fun, creative way.
Yeah,
fine.
Creative, subversive, cheeky. Just you understand the trope and you turn it on its head in a way that isn't cringy and embarrassing.
Yeah. As long as he's an actual threat, he can still be funny.
I like when movies start subverting things so often that when they not subvert it, it's now the subversion.
Yeah, that's the issue with subversion. It's now just kind of the thing to do, but nobody thinks about how the implications or the creativity behind it. Sort of like Lindsay Ellis's Beauty and the Beast video, because it's one of my favorite video essays on the YouTube. It's really, really good, and talks about how subverting expectations or recontextualizing things isn't always necessarily a good thing, like how the Beauty and the Beast live action remake recontextualizes and subverts expectations from the original, and it winds up just being a weaker piece because of it. It's really good. I like it. I love Lindsay Ellis. Thank you for my life.
Someone said, what does an inverse chicken nugget look like?
The meat on the outside and all the crunchy stuff in the center.
Yeah, you just stuff a chicken with breading. That's it. It's not hard.
It just looks like meat glue.
Yeah. There was a recipe on the Tasty Facebook for stuffed chicken breast, and it was stuffed with cheese, and I'm like, why would you do that? I can't think of anything less appetizing than just biting into a chicken breast and all of a sudden just cheese leaks out of it. Foul.
Question.
Yes.
Pineapple on pizza, yes, no?
No.
I never tried.
I like it, but
it's okay, Izzy. It's okay to be wrong.
Oh, I know you.
Remember when I said earlier about everybody's subjective and that's okay? I was wrong. Everybody's there's an answer for everything.
There's an answer for everything, and it's not fucking pineapple on pizza.
I rescind everything I've said.
What's a franchise place that has the best pizza? I'd say BJ's Brewery. I love the white pizza.
Franchise pizza.
What's the franchise pizza you like?
It depends on what you consider a franchise. Like, is it like fast food pizza, or is it like
any place that has like it's not just some random location in some town somewhere. It's
every
place
pizza
that's
place
all
is a
around.
random location, technically speaking.
I'm sorry, but I'm a little Caesar's person. Part of it's devotion to the fact that part of it's is de facto to the fact that I'm from Detroit, and that's just my.
Well, do you like it because of the $5 hot and ready's, or do you have a specific?
I actually just like eating it. I actually like the taste.
Is it just a comfort food thing? Is that it?
Probably. Like if I ever have a party, I just buy like 3 boxes and just slam it. I can eat like a whole box of those.
I can eat a whole box of pizza by myself. When we had the MomoCon pizza party, I never got the chance to, though, because apparently, from what I heard, Jax Blade ate almost half a box. That mother.
He's a bodybuilder, though.
I don't care. I spent a lot of money on that pizza, and he ate almost a good chunk of them. I'm gonna fight him, probably die in the process. But
I had half a pizza because I was like, I'm cheating on my diet. I'm gonna eat a lot.
Okay, well, you're allowed to because you're my friend. You're my.
I chipped in a little bit.
You did. You and Pan did, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
We love you.
Well, I mean, Pan,
fuck you, Nolan.
Oh, well, I mean, I know you love me, Izzy. I don't know where Pan stands on our relationship, but I appreciate him regardless.
You guys don't know this, but the Pizza Party podcast is just a polyamorous podcast. We're all in a relationship together.
Aw, that's sweet.
I wouldn't even say polyamorous. I'd say we're kind of just like, it's like how me and Spo live together and we're basically married.
You guys are my favorite OTP.
Oh, thank you. We actually got a junk mail letter that said the Baker household, and I was like, Spo, you do realize this means you're my wife now, right?
He took your name. That's so cute.
I know. And he's like, well, shit, I guess I am. That's just how Spo reacts to things. He's just like, well, I guess that's it then, huh?
I love Spo to death. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Huh. Someone said Little Caesars is the only place with a cartoon character mascot.
That's true.
No.
We used to have the Noid.
Yeah, we used to have the I was going to say we used to have the Noid, but
they might mean currently.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring back the Noid, but I wouldn't after that incident.
Bring back the Noid. Let them say fuck.
People don't remember that the Noid almost caused a hostage crisis situation, so it's fine now.
Classic.
They brought him back for like one commercial.
Someone said, "Who's my OTP?" But for what?
Anything
in general. What is your favorite one true pairing besides Nolan and Spo?
Oh shit! I actually recently discovered. Oh, I actually am a really, really big fan of Jack and Gabe from Watch.
Oh,
like that pairing.
That's cute.
Reaper and Soldier. I think that like because they separate later, and just the fact that they have that whole like dynamic of like, oh, we separated, like we used to work together, we got like driven apart by our different opinions, which is like, it's normal. It's not like anything creative or new, but like the way those characters' personalities are, it's like kind of cute. Like they both are masked people, so I just figured if they hung out, he'd just be like, "Hey, masked man," and he'd be like, "What do you want? Like, you look familiar. Your shoulders are broad, just like my ex-boyfriend's. Yeah, and you got a nice figure like my ex-boyfriend.
Your mom.
Wanna hang out?" They just mysteriously end up dating again when they take their masks off.
One of my favorite OTPs was Ben from like Alien Force Ultimate Alien Continuity and Korra. It's a crack ship, I guess, but I thought they would be cute together. I still stand by that. And this was before Korra was like 20, and I realized the show was terrible. So
also, I know Katrin's in the audience, and yes, Kelly has influenced me. She was on my ex-board partner. She got me really into that pairing of Soldier and Reaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what's yours, Pan? I'm sure it's going to be something not totally embarrassing.
I don't think about shipping. I don't know.
You don't think about
about shipping. Don't lie to us.
I got my own relationship issues to worry about, you know.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't have any shippings until I was introduced to them. So
I thought Margaret and Mordecai would get together, but it didn't happen, just like real life, you know.
To be honest, I'm with you. I didn't actually think shipping or like pairings. I just kind of like let the show do what they wanted to do. I mean, like Steven Universe, I really wanted Rose and Pearl to actually be a good couple, but
no, they didn't let you.
No, it did not.
I like the ones that leave it open for the audience to just figure out, like for them to figure out on their own. Because like once it starts pairing in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the couple. Okay, cool. But like when you listen, like when the fact that almost every character in Overwatch has acknowledgement other than Tracer of a couple system, like it's like, oh, they're all kind of free game to pair whoever you want. And like that, I feel like that works with a lot of other things, unless you're just a fan of one existing. Like I guess it's like a call out at my girlfriend, and she's like not into any ship pairings ever in her life either until Venom, where she's jumped on the bandwagon of everybody shipping Eddie and Venom together.
Mm-hmm. One pairing that's pretty popular that I don't like that much is Katara and Aang, because it feels really weird and uncomfortable. It's like
I don't think I could think of shipping in that show. Period.
I know. That's the thing. It's like,
I guess because I feel uncomfortable shipping children.
I mean, yeah. I mean, media has always done it though, so it's just kind of like whatever in my case. But like, whenever I think of how like Aang and Katara have been contextualized, it's always been like a mother and son type relationship until the third season, and it's just like, no.
I always saw it more of as like an older sister vibe.
They do make a lot of jokes about her being the mother.
Either way, either way, it's not appropriate.
Okay, actually a shipping thing that I got into as a kid that I didn't realize it was I always paired Tai and Sora together in Digimon, but then season 2, it felt like it came out of nowhere that all of a sudden Sora and Matt are dating.
How could they?
I know, the betrayal.
Yeah, well, I think they kind of gleamed that they kind of like broke up in the like one of the Digimon OVAs.
Yeah, in the movie, it was like Tai and Sora got into a fight, and I guess the guy with the power of friendship fucking came in and stole his girl.
No. I mean, like I'm not like that's how I pieced together as a kid. I was like, oh, they're gonna be together, and then like when that OVA happened, I thought it was like all canon stuff. So I was just like, oh no, they broke up. And then so like when that happened later, I was like, well, they broke up, whatever. Ty will find a different girlfriend, I guess, or boyfriend. I don't know what he's into.
Everything. They're omnisexual.
He's into Anju woman.
Into Digimon.
Okay, everyone's into Anju woman.
I've had to draw Digimon a couple times, and I still don't get it. Just like, what do y'all see in these things?
I like going back
Pokemon,
as an adult.
but edgier.
Well, like going back as an adult and just learning that like all the female Digimon are just BDSM. Like,
true.
Yeah. I think the creators got something going on there. Everyone draws what they like, and I guess he was like telling a little something about himself there.
Remember when somebody made a fake article about how Soda was like sneaking in incest subtext into one of the episdes?
What?
Yeah.
Is it you especially need to remember?
Wait, was Hosoda part of the TV show? I thought he was just only a part of the OVAs.
He did a episode. There was an episode in the first season where Tai, it's immediately after Edamon gets destroyed, Tai gets sucked into the real world. And don't worry, I'll let you tell the actual story, Nolan. I'm just recapping the thing.
Go for it.
But basically, Tai got sucked into the real world, and when he goes back, Kari's like super, like he finds out that the time hasn't passed, Kari's sick, and Kari's being really fucking weird. And then he goes back into the digital world.
Okay.
But like the style and animation was completely different because it was a different director.
I want to see that. I haven't rewatched a lot of the first season. Although I rewatched a little bit just for nostalgia's sake, and I was just laughing at it so much. Like, I think they were all fighting what is it? Devimon? Who's the first bondage?
Devimon.
Yeah.
They were all like jumping on him and attacking him at the same time, like the first time they fight him, and then like they hit Togemon off. When she hits the ground, she's like, "Oh, my needles hurt." And I'm like, what?
Oh.
Are they like an appendage? Like, what? Did you like kill yourself? Like, I don't. What's going on here?
Oh.
I'm not a living cactus, so I guess I wouldn't know. But
no. Now tell the creepypasta stuff.
The creepypasta, I like that. So somebody went through, admittedly, a great deal of effort to make this like fake interview with Mamoru Hosoda about how that episode that Izzy referenced was incestual subtext. And like various like, it's about like discovering, I don't remember exactly the details, and it's definitely fake. It was confirmed fake. But
thank God.
And it was just about like it was romance and stuff and discovering love or whatever, or the relationship between a brother and a sister. I don't know. It was really weird, and it fooled me for a bit. And then somebody was like, it's fake, right? And I'm like, damn. I thrive on controversy.
Hey, I'm glad you're honest about that.
I love the salt.
I will tell you one controversial thing about Digimon. In season 2, why the fuck does the dinosaur Digimon and the angel Digimon turn into a goddamn teacup?
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, no. So in
what's the name of this Digimon?
In season 2, the big fucking thing was the Digimon could DNA digivolve and combine into one. So like 2 champions could become an ultimate because they couldn't go ultimate. And so you have the dragon and the bug become a dragon bug. Okay, cool. You have the angel, the cat and the bird turn into this cat bird thing. You have a dinosaur and an angel, and it turns into a fucking teacup.
What is the teacup Digimon's name?
I can't remember. I'll pull it up.
Fucking teacup
okay,
mon.
I want to see teacup mon.
Isn't that weird statue thing?
Yeah, it's like it's probably like some like holy Japanese relic or something, but it looks fucking awful and it pissed me off.
I was watching some Did You Know gaming video of Breath of the Wild, and apparently it's some old ancient statue that nobody knows the meaning of anymore.
The technology and look of the Sheikah culture was inspired by the Jomon period in Japanese history, which isn't well known outside of Japan. One example of this Jomon influence can be found with Akala's lab robot Cherry. Cherry looks a lot like a Dogu, a type of figurine from the Jomon period. There's over 15,000 of these Dogu figures in the real world, but because the Jomon period took place over thousands of years, their purpose had been lost to time.
Thank God for Did You Know Gaming. They make good shit.
They really do. Shout outs. Do you guys want to get like Daz it turns out they were actually like part of the Spreaders resource back when I was in high school.
Oh,
I know like half the Did You Know Gaming guys.
What? Izzy?
Yeah. At one of the indie pop cons, it was great. It was like one of those things where it's like, I'm pretty sure Shane's Badass Bill, and I walk up to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's like magic.
Yeah. So the world's smaller than you expect.
No.
So the people who worked on Spreaders resource are the same people who worked on Did You Know Gaming?
Well, okay, so like the guy who started Pixel Tendo and Spreaders Resource is currently working on Game Maker's Toolkit. That's Mark Brown. And then when he gave up the website, he started with Shane Gill and Daniel Brown, I think, is also the other person. And I know them as Badass Bill and Daz. And they both ran Pixel Tendo at separate times. And I think Shane is the one in control of Did You Know Gaming, and Daz voices a lot of when they don't have a special guest. Him and this guy named Greg, who I don't know.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Bring them to us.
Is that all for
and then, to throw that in there, one of my friends, Star Power, he does. He's part of Smashified. Like, he's not Omni. He's one of the other guys. What? Are you okay? Are you having? What's up?
I'm just excited. Keep going. You're talking.
I mean, like, I can't think of anyone else, right? Oh, well, then Fario,
Tarsha?
Mike
from Fire Emblem.
No, the guy who did all the JonTron animations, he was also from Pixel Tendo. And I think that's everyone that's like, that's all I can think of on top of my head.
All right, I found the Digimon.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I was still looking.
Someone in the audience said the name. It's Shakuku or Shakokumon.
Okay.
Shakokumon. It looks more religious than it does a teacup.
Shakuku for Cocoa Puffs.
Yes.
Okay, but look at the other one. though. Like okay, so like it's probably not that bad as far as what it's actually like referencing, but like the problem is that the other ones look like an actual fusion of the two Digimon, but that one just
and this
comes
one
out
looks
of
like
nowhere.
no relation.
So this
Yes.
is what Homeworld thinks of fusion.
Oh. Hey. Is that over Digimon? Because I see a good question.
Yeah, what is it?
Right.
What is it?
Joe Toon says, question, what's a good example of a self-insert character in a cartoon? There are tons of self-insert characters in cartoons. Like, the Simpsons were just Matt Groening self-inserting himself and I think his family into a show, regular show. There's Gravity Falls.
A crap ton of the Ben 10 cast can be found, like artists can be found in episodes of Ben 10.
I really,
but like,
we're not the greatest, but
I actually want to piggyback off of Pan's The Simpsons because I love the story of how The Simpsons was made. It was basically like Matt Groening was going in to sell the Life is Hell comic. I think you actually said this in a video, Pan. I don't know, but I'm telling it anyway because I love it. And like during the meeting, he got cold feet and he was like, "Fuck, I don't want to sell these guys. I love them, but what else can I sell?" And then he's like, fuck. And then he just drew The Simpsons on like a piece of paper and he was like, here's my cartoon. And now it's the most successful animated show of all time. It's just so funny to me. I love it.
What you're trying to say is don't ever try.
Yes.
Well, okay, that used to scare me when I was younger because I remember thinking like, wait a minute, The Simpsons was just some guy's half-assed effort. But then I thought about it more and it's like the initial start of it was a half-assed effort, but just the people working together and making something out of that is what really made The Simpsons what it was. It wasn't just, let's just throw whatever at the wall. It was like they actually worked after that, you know?
Well, yeah, obviously, but I just still think it's a funny story. That
I know, but I'm trying to tell my younger self for some.
Well, your younger self is dead now. You're the new you.
I know, but there's likely other people who think like my younger self, so you know.
This is like some Persona shit.
Yeah.
Someone said, do you remember when Lance Armstrong was in Arthur?
Lance Armstrong.
But yeah,
I remember him
in Arthur.
But yeah,
I remember
really when people say
he had a really gross human face. If I remember.
Every cameo character had a gross human face, but one thing I do remember is the episode where you could send a picture of one of your loved ones into Arthur, and they'd make an episode out of it. But it was like a preset template, and it was like, B went to the store with Arthur, or Jill went to the store with Arthur.
Oh,
you remember that shit? That shit was hilarious.
I vaguely remember something like that.
You should do a Midnight Society on it. That would be.
Is it anywhere online?
Yeah, you can find it. It's just like a pre-recorded Arthur episode that, like, if you sent in some like money and a picture of your kid or something, they would be in an episode with Arthur.
You guys got a question specifically to you guys. Do you worry about getting old? As in, do you see yourselves doing this podcast when you're like 33?
I don't think about that too much.
Yeah, let's not think about that.
I'd rather. Go ahead.
Nolan.
No, you. I said.
I was gonna say it pops in my mind occasionally because I'm getting closer and closer to 30 because I'm 28. I'll be 29 in January, and so it's like, am I further enough in my career? Am I doing this? But I try to kind of push it off a little bit because it's kind of depressing.
I'll be 29 this year. I'll sometimes wake up with like cold sweats thinking about death, but it's not like,
oh, we're going back to the death conversation. Okay, so like seriously, I just can't imagine like not existing. Like what happens when you die?
That's what messes me up. I'll wake up randomly with cold sweats and not cold sweats. I'll wake up randomly in the night, and then my first thought is just sitting in my room, like looking at my room, and I'll be like, eventually this won't be here anymore.
Shut up. Shut up.
Right. Like legitimately, like things existed before my idea of what reality is, and things are going to exist after I'm gone.
And that's the only thing that messes me up too, is like, if you weren't born and you had like your parents had a different kid, is that still going to be you, or is that not be? Like,
I am thou. Thou art I. He who opens the door.
Like, I don't know, that stuff like freaks me out, but I still keep thinking about it, and it makes me just want to like. It motivates me to do more with my life, but it's also just like I feel pretty lonely right now.
Let's skip this.
It doesn't
skip
bother.
this.
Okay, I'm not gonna add on to Pan's fear and make him cry, but like I just sort of don't worry anymore. I'm sort of just kind of miserable all the time. I just think, well, whatever happens, I guess. Who cares?
Yeah.
The good news is, whenever we reach the sweet, sweet bliss of death, we will now know the answer.
Shut up.
That's a positive. That's positive thinking.
Or there will be no answer.
I'll just say
I'm gonna freeze myself. Fuck y'all.
You're what?
I'm gonna freeze myself. Fuck y'all.
Go for it.
Oh, with that YouTube cash.
Somehow.
Pan does sit on his money. He just kind of like saves up and saves up and saves up. It's just like, yes, I am.
He's Scrooge McDucking in his room.
No, he's not. He's like Smog. He's like he's like equally as wrinkly, and his breath probably smells just as bad.
Just not British.
Yeah, you're not mocapped by Benedict Cumberbatch, Pan. You're probably mocapped by like fucking Rob Schneider.
No, Steve Belushi.
Then I can be like a shitty CGI movie you find in the Dove Foundation,
What?
You go to Walmart, you see like a weird CG movie and it has like the Dove Foundation sticker on it. That's a mark quality.
Idea what you're talking about.
Just go to Walmart to find any like weird straight to video DVD movie. I don't know. There's always a sticker with a little dove on it.
The last movie I found at Walmart like that I really enjoyed was Smosh the movie. That was
classic.
That was a fucking mess. We should do a commentary.
Rip in peace, Smosh.
When it's my turn.
Oh god, we still have to do mine, which is Death Note.
Yeah, I know, and then Pans, and then Jim's if he ever shows up again.
When are we gonna do it?
I don't know. Ask Pan. It's his show.
Hey Pam, we're gonna do it.
Let's just do it next week to get it over with,
Fine.
Do we have a guest lined up?
No, it's my friend JD is up next, who does Ink and Paint Club. He's epic. But anyway, do you guys want to do one more question?
Sure, let's do this.
Okay.
Keep it plotting.
Okay.
Oh.
Do the do.
Fuck.
Also, those two Pokemon fusing together have nothing to do with each other. You're right.
No.
Right? So. Like,
wait, did I say Pokemon? I might have been Digimon.
Yeah, I figured. But like, and the other one is like Gatomon and a bird, and it's like, hey, look, this looks pretty much like Gatomon and a bird put together. I see elements of it.
Yeah.
Digimon Season 2 started off strong and fizzled out.
Are you two nerds still talking about Digimon?
I'm just referring to the picture they posted.
Someone says, what do you want for Xmas Smash?
Get it?
Oh, yeah. Are you guys excited about the roster from Smash Brothers?
You mean how there's no Banjo?
The Grinch leak was a fucking fraud.
Everybody's fucking pissed at the Grinch leak. Meanwhile, I'm just here like, I didn't get Sans. God damn it.
Sans was never going to be in it.
Fuck you. He had a chance. I had proof.
Okay, to be fair, I'm the one also like campaigning for Banjo, who has literally no chance. So,
well, Sakurai did meet with Microsoft.
As long as I'm just glad Ken got in. Whoop whoop.
I'm really digging Incineroar.
Yeah, Incineroar's pretty fun.
Some people aren't happy about it, but I love Incineroar.
It's more just like another Pokemon, really.
There's always going to be a Pokemon.
Yeah.
If you look at the trend, they always add a starter of each new gen every time there's a new Smash. They pick the most popular one.
I was going to say, Melee didn't have a starter. It had Mewtwo and Pichu.
Yeah, which were really popular.
But
they were really popular at the time.
Okay, then I'll say the most popular Pokemon of that.
Wasn't Incineroar really the most popular Pokemon from the current gen?
Yeah, because he's fur bait.
Yeah.
Anybody who's a furry is like, oh man, I want Incineroar to fucking suplex me into the ground.
Step on me.
Give me Voltorb, so it's just a ball and it just explodes, and that's all its power is.
Around and explodes. Yeah, I mean, if there's a next Smash, it's just gonna be the next gen Pokemon.
I do really want a grass starter to be in the team now, though, because we have a fire starter. We have 2 fire starters and a water starter.
You have Ivysaur.
I'll make a prediction. I'll make a prediction right now. I have a prediction. One of the DLCs, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the last one, is gonna be a Pokemon.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so to clarify, the DLC's been picked, and it was picked by Nintendo, not Sakurai. So, like, that probably seems really bad for any obscure.
The last one's gonna be a Pokemon is because there's gonna probably be the next Pokemon Gen game is gonna come out, and then that's gonna be around the time of the end of the year, and during the time of the end of the year is also DLC comes out, so it's probably gonna be whatever they think the most popular Pokemon is. Is gonna be that DLC release.
Also, I do want to add a little note to Izzy's an amendum. Sakurai did help pick. It was more like Nintendo was like, "Here's the fighters we want." Sakurai's like, "Okay, I could do that one, not that one." So he kind of did pick, but not really. It's really weird. I feel like Sakurai just is sick of taking the blame, and he's just like, Nintendo, just do me a solid, and they're like, okay.
So the question is Nintendo going to like do third parties because DLC will sell, or are they going to do just upcoming games to promote their other lineups?
I don't know, but like, the last Smash had third party DLC characters.
I mean, that's where the proper place to put third parties, only because that gets the most profit from them. Because if you're paying $5 for one character compared to $60 for the whole game, the profit margins is really high. And I'm sure they can work out some kind of deal with the people who own the character to get a percentage of the DLC.
I'm just surprised like Travis Touchdown or Jack from Mad World aren't in it yet.
I mean,
they were pretty big on the Wii.
Yeah, that explains my reasoning as to why I'm not surprised.
I mean, that's probably why the Piranha Plant was in the DLC, because it's like, one, it's a gimmick to make you buy the game like quick, and then also it's like, why would they make like a staple Nintendo character or one of the like iconic Nintendo characters a DLC?
I'm pretty sure the Piranha Plant was there just to piss people off. Like that's my
it does seem like a troll.
To me, it just seems like there was a marketing ploy. Like, buy our game, like now you'll get this because it has the limited time offer. So I just feel like it was a gimmick to get people.
Yeah, but
also, like why too?
Yeah, but why Piranha Plant then? You know, like
I don't know. I feel like the way they revealed it probably was a troll, but I feel like when they made the decision, they weren't like, let's troll them. I feel like when they picked that, they're like, oh, we could reveal it at the like marketing wise. They're like, we could reveal this at the end and just like really get people up in arms, because that's just, you know, all news is no press is bad.
What I mean by it feels like a troll is that like out of all the characters, you know, people are like debating about Waddle Dee, you know, Banana D, but it's a generic character, and so everyone's like, it has to be some big character with a legacy, and then it's just generic enemy from a Mario game.
But like, remember I told you, like, sometimes people just do designs. They're like, oh, I just did it for fun. Like, Piranha Plant literally could have been someone like, I thought of some cool moves for Piranha Plant and then pitched it, and they were like, oh, yeah, we could totally do this.
Pretty much.
Because he operates completely different than most of the characters. Like, he even has, like, physics for him tipping over in his pot.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of characters. Most of them are humanoids. It's like, you pick something like that. It's just like, wow, like, you really picked a character that really changes the game.
Well, he stands out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that Smash Brothers kind of needs that. It's kind of like, it's going back to Overwatch, I guess, but like adding characters that don't fit the normal type of like a shooter, like in that game, like really shakes it up with characters like Doomfist or Reinhardt, physical characters. Like in Smash, it's like, here's a character that does not conventionally play like any other character, and that really changes how the game operates.
Yeah.
Give us another Fire Emblem character. We need it.
Darja.
No.
That's the only one I care about.
I feel like I'm confident. Maybe I'll regret it, but I'm confident we won't get another one in the DLC.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, to be completely honest, if they were going to do as much Fire Emblem Sword characters, I would have been okay if they did like the Bowser Jr. thing, where we just had 8 sword fighters from Final Fantasy or from Fire Emblem, but they're all just alternate colors of the same character.
Speaking of which, I'm glad that Sakurai did that. Like, what a fucking choice act for Bowser Jr. to add all the Koopalings so I can play as Roy.
I love him some Wendy.
That was great.
No, I'm just bummed we didn't get an amiibos. I would have bought them all.
Me too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I feel like those would have been. I feel like that probably would have just. I was gonna say maybe that would be a great marketing thing, but I was like, nah, it'd probably just be like the hardcore people who really wanted all of those.
I will say that the World Nintendo toys, they just released a Iggy. So like they might release all the Koopalings as multiple figures, which is super exciting.
Did they release Roy?
Yeah.
No, they've only done one. Icky.
Here's the thing I still don't get. I really don't understand why Luigi is not. Well, like I'm not a huge Waluigi care either way. I just don't understand why he's not at this point. Like from the game standpoint, especially when you point out all the Fire Emblem characters, I'm like, why? Like I don't care either way, but I'm just like, why? This doesn't make any sense to me.
I would have been I'm not a big Waluigi fan either, but I think if he would have came in to represent all the Mario Party sports spin-offs, that would have been a really cool way of like incorporating him. Just give him all the like little moves from that.
And just give him like a baseball bat, a go-kart, a tennis racket.
I can't think of a funnier way to introduce Waluigi into Smash Ultimate than to have him get like fucking KO'd as an assist trophy and introduce that mechanic. Like Sakurai doesn't give a shit.
Also, don't act like there's not trolling. They purposely didn't show Shadow as a trophy just so there'd be speculation thinking he's an Echo Fighter.
They couldn't be that ignorant. Like I refuse to believe they were that ignorant to be like, oh, there's no way they'd think that.
I'm pretty sure they sit there and go like, we know people want Waluigi, we know people like want Shadow, but they're like, we don't. And I'm pretty sure that's just how it is.
Fuckers.
I mean, they're making decisions.
We wanted Gino. Where's Gino, you assholes?
So apparently,
I think they showed him as an assist too.
No, he's just
Spirit.
He's
one of the Spirit. Yeah, that's
Spirit.
that
Spirits don't he confirmed though, thankfully. So
yeah, apparently, Ripley was called Captain America, like nickname in Japan because he's such a American fan, like favorite character. Yeah, I love that nickname. That's hilarious.
It's funny. I think that's cool. My one friend pointed out though that he's like, because they put Charizard back with the Pokemon trainer. They said that they just kind of gave him a clone moveset of Charizard's moves from the prior game.
So does Charizard play differently now, or?
I think he still plays similarly. I think they just like, since he doesn't have like 100% full moveset because he's part of the little trio gang. I think like, and Ridley does have his own move, but like a lot of them are just like, I think they just rigged him over Charizard because they used to talk about how they didn't know how to make his rig work, which is why they didn't put him in. But I think they probably figured it out by going like, oh, like we can just skin him over old Charizard.
Yeah, I've never understood the he's too big or he's too small argument, because like if you were going by canonical like sizes and heights, like Bowser's supposed to be way bigger, Olimar's supposed to be a fucking like smaller than an apple, you know, it's just dumb. Just change the anatomy.
Someone in the comments was wondering who Gino is from, and he's from Super Mario RPG.
The Square Nintendo collab.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Puppetmon. Remember Puppetmon from Digimon?
You're cutting in and out a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
get
damn
Spectrum.
Yeah, Puppetmon and Gino, they look the same somewhat.
Oh, I love Puppetmon. Digimon. We're back to Digimon, baby. Teacup.
Yeah.
I mean, Gino is a Digimon. I mean, Gino is a puppet. So.
I know.
Yeah.
But still, like, they have the same hat and, like, I don't know. Never
For
mind.
the Japanese fans, his name is Pinocchio-mon.
Gino probably is based off some folklore design or something. That's probably why they look similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But is that all for things?
All for thing? Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Buy gold, brush your teeth, be good boys.
Okay. I almost beat Sonic Mania while we were having this podcast. I'm only on the last level. I'm very good at it.
Yeah, well, I guess this is the end of the podcast because I'm tired.
We're all tired here.
Yeah.
Who are you?
It's early for me.
Yeah, it is. Who are you?
It's nighttime. Daylight savings messed me up. It's 6 p.m., but it's dark out.
Yeah, who are you?
Who are we all?
Yeah.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt
me.
But yeah, Pan, play us out.
Goodbye, everyone. It was a fun podcast. Pan, don't forget to unsubscribe from Crunchyroll and watch the rest of Senran Kagura Peach Splash.
I guess that's really it. And then I have a podcast called Less You Know.
Sweet. We'll link
on
those
also
for you.
all platforms. Yeah, and you guys will also be mentioned in ours because I'm going to talk about that I was on it. So.
Oh, cool.
I can't wait.
We're
Twitter.
Yeah, we're pretty new though, so we're just trying to get our legs going.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably head off. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. This was a great episode.
Yeah.
But I am gonna go get dinner because all I had was a bowl of tricks during the recording. So.
Oh.
I had a big thing of. I had a giant brownie more or less.
I know, and I'm mad. I'll talk to you gamers later.